This is a crew management guide for a engineer Mobula, triple engine Mobula. First off, we'll start off on this left side. You see, left side got two guns. Now, typically, for standard Mobula theory, they shoot the top gun for longer range, and then they switch down to this bottom gun for closer range. That's just a standard Mobula setup for the left side. Now, this left side brings spanner, mallet, and extinguisher. You can work with chem spray. Chem spray is great, but extinguisher works well enough on the whole. So, when they spawn and load up the guns, you see the hole is right next to the gun, so oftentimes what you do is you shoot, and then during your reload, you tap the hole, and you got plenty of time. Now, even if you're not finished reloading, even if you're not finished shooting, oftentimes you just need to get to the hole, and in that term, if you need to get to the hole as fast as you can, then just run. Use your stamina. So, here we go, run to the hole, and tap it, and then we'll just walk back here. There we go, plenty of time. You also got the engine back here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, oftentimes you'll be shooting this top gun for longer range, and then I jump down to the closer range gun. Extinguisher works well enough. The other time you'll use the extinguisher is to extinguish this main engine. Just tap it from below. You'll only do that when you're not in combat. But yeah, let's talk about this right side. The spanner mallet chem spray engine. Now, typically for Mobula, the balloon engine is always on the balloon. They're always down here on this bottom deck. At least most of the time. So this is going to be their main gun right here. So in this case, we bring a heatsink ammo for the light flak, or heatsink or burst. And they bring spanner mallet chem spray. Now you need to keep chems up on your balloon. You see, it's kind of a longer trip. And, except with the only gun you can make the reload with is a 6.5 second gun, like an Artemis. Other times you're not gonna be able to make the reload. If you need to get a quick chem on it, then run. Otherwise, just walking, it's okay, you'll be a bit slower, but you can't afford not to have chems on your balloon. Chems are just so important on that balloon. You also got the engine back here. And this top gun. Now, for this specific loadout, we either have a flare gun or a flamethrower. The flamethrower is for defense. The flare gun is, with heatsink ammo, so, if the spanner mallet chem, if for example, the enemies above us, they're up right there, the light flak are getting good arcs, and, we use the flare. We'll shoot a couple flares, 3 flares into them, and then, move back to the light flak, try to kill them. Now, typically, the right side gun is for the gunner. That's why we would have the flamethrower right here. But yeah, now let's talk about the gunner. Now, to get up to this top deck, you wanna, if you're going up from here, you wanna stand on this slightly elevated platform. You can jump over right here. You can also use stamina. And then the gunner, the spanner mallet spanner mallet buff engine. Spanner mallet buff engine. First when they do, at first, when they spawn in, let's talk about that. First when they spawn in, buff the left engine. If you got plenty of time, buff the left engine. Run to the right engine, buff it. And then buff the main engine. You can use your stamina whenever you're going up to that ladder. And then they buff the main engine. And then they load up their gun, if necessary, and they pre-buff it. Now there are situations where oftentimes, well, first off, let's say we call you to the flamethrower, let's say it's a flamethrower. They just use the stamina to run over to the flamethrower, start shooting the flamethrower. In this build, we could also call them to the Banshee, to kill them as fast as you can. The fastest way for this ship to kill is a grease gat, a heatsink or burst light flak, and a grease banshee. Hades doesn't quite do as much hull damage as a banshee, so the quickest way to kill them, we call the gunner to the banshee. We got a grease gat, a grease banshee, and a heatsink light flak. So yeah, you can have the gunner go to either one of the guns depending on the situation. You can also, oftentimes the gunner will be, if you're trying to tank, you're maneuvering around using a balloon, just avoiding damage, then the gunner might be buffing the engine. They might even help repair the hull. But yeah, they might be doing general repairs right here. Unless they specifically have something to shoot. If you're trying to survive, then they'll be doing general repairs. Might want to have them buff the balloon. Buff balloons are great, but they take a while to do. Yes, and it takes a while, but buff balloons, buff balloon Mobula has saved me countless times. Especially if you're up against a lumberjack, and you're just trying to survive. But, that pretty much sums it up. Okay, so the spam buff, you think, well, you don't have any fire extinguishing for this front gun, so what if this gun catches on fire? What if the engine catches on fire? Well, the engine, you don't have to worry about. This engine has 525 health. The gun has 200 health. This engine has just so much health, and fire doesn't really hurt guns and engines that much. Fire has a 0.25 modifier against guns and engines, 0.8 against hull, and 1.5 against balloon. So really, it's not going to do much damage to this big old engine. And when you need to, you can have, when you're not in combat, you can have the extinguisher extinguish the engine, and you're fine. But what about the front gun? Well, that's the pilot's job. And the pilot brings an extinguisher. Now, what the pilot wants to do, they want to get on the helm when they're touching the helm. You want to walk straight into the helm right here, and then jump up, you can tap the gun, you can grab it, you can load up your ammo, the pilot can load up the ammo. In this situation, I bring Lesmok ammo and extinguisher. So I load up the Hades Lesmok, and then the gunner uses their grease when necessary. But now, I think that, that sums it up. And it's pretty simple crewing on Mobula. The hardest part about Mobula is flying it since it has kind of finicky turning. It's got very slow acceleration. It has high turning speed. But yeah, that just about sums it up. Your engines are going to be burning a lot. Your pilot will use a lot of kerosene and hydrogen. Just watch repairs and yeah, have fun.